Hey, welcome to Dentistry Gone Wild, the official podcast for mobile and teledentistry. And I'm so excited to be here with my partner in crime, my buddy Melissa Turner. How you doing, Em?
Hey, Sonya. I am happy I'm coming to you from my front porch. So this is a new
Nice.
location. This is amazing. And Sonya, before we get into the really the meat of the podcast today, I wanted to show you this little plant behind me.
Oh,
That is a baby sunflower. I had to think of you.
I
I
love
know you love sunflowers.
sunflowers.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
So
you have to show
anyway,
me when it buds. Show me when it buds. You got to
I
show me when.
will.
But you know what? I'm about to get like deep. We all start out as a little stem. Did I sound like I'm about to say something just epic?
Sounds like you're
But
going to write a book about
I
them.
don't know, but I love sunflowers. But we all start out like a little stem, and then we grow into this beautiful ray of sunshine, right? So I don't know what
Yes.
else to say behind that, but thank you for sharing. Now, are Maggie and Pepper involved with you growing your sunflowers,
Yes,
or
they planted the sunflowers. They got them from their preschool last year, or from their kindergarten. I guess they're not preschool anymore. So, they planted the sunflowers. So they're
this
watching
is a
it every day.
pandemic baby? This is a
Yeah,
pandemic baby.
this is, and I
Is it
hope it
three of them
produces
or
some
two?
seeds.
Is it three or two back
Um,
there?
I think there's actually three, but I'm hoping it produces some seeds because I hear they produce a lot of seeds, and frankly I want to eat them. So I don't know. I mean, you grow sunflowers, don't you? Have you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I grow sunflowers. They don't
Yeah.
last very long in Florida. Maybe
Oh, really?
I get them about 30 days and then they go.
Oh man. Can
Then I
you
have to
can you
replant them. I got to
can
replant
you
them every
harvest
year.
the seeds, or do you not even do that?
I don't even do that. I just love them. I just
Who
love
has
sitting
time for
around
that?
them. Right. But Melissa, I'm so glad to have another exciting podcast today, right?
Yes, and today, oh my word. Okay, so this conversation I've been wanting to have for a very long time, not about the sunflowers, but about who we have on today. We have Jinesh Patel here, CEO of Uptime Health, and he is also the founder. So welcome, Jinesh. We are so glad to have you. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me. And I like to go along with the theme of, mobile and teledentistry. So I'm in this mobile vehicle, but I'm parked. So please don't think I'm doing
You are in your car. I didn't even know that. That's hilarious. Well, he
Gosh.
was
Oh yeah.
you were out in a beautiful, it looked like the beach or something, and then the wind was too much, right? So we made you get in
Yeah.
your car now. Yeah.
Yeah. I try to have a nice scenic background, but now I thought this would actually be better for the type of podcast.
You're right. Well, welcome, Janesh. Okay. So give us the lowdown on Uptime Health. I've been seeing you around for a while and would love to just, have the 60-second pitch. What do you do and why?
So what we do is we help healthcare providers in the dental industry actually manage their compliance and their equipment in a much more automated fashion than currently. So we see today a lot of dental practices and office managers really use pen and paper to manage how do you do your daily, weekly, monthly compliance or OSHA-based tasks that are required of you, and then how do you keep track of it? And what we decided to do is create a software that helps them do that, understand why the things they're doing are so important, train their employees on how to do it in an efficient manner, then also keep track of all the medical equipment that you have in your practice as well. So if you have a sterilizer, great. Are you doing the planned maintenance for the sterilizer? Are you doing the spore sample for the sterilizer? We help you make sure you're doing all those things. Because at the end of the day, if your equipment's up and running in a high quality fashion, your practice is up and running in high quality fashion. You're never losing revenue. You're never creating those operational moments that you're like, oh no, what do we do? This is broken or this room is down because we're missing this one device.
So what I hear you saying is that notebooks and Excel spreadsheets don't really cut it anymore for this kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's the role. Our goal is no paper.
Wow. And it also takes the stress out of remembering if your sterilizer strips are ran in, remembering what you need to have done if because that's the hard part because you may have one person remembering something else, one person remembering something, but this puts it all up under one hub. So really, you're eliminating jobs. Is that what you're saying? Are
No,
you
but
acting like the
Here we
automatic
go.
checkout at Walmart? Are you really doing that?
no, actually what we're doing is we're allowing those people that have the jobs where everything's in their head take vacation for the first time.
Oh,
So
dear God.
think
I
about it
like the
this
way
way.
you did that. I like the way you did that.
He's
So
good.
think about that time whenever you know who the vendors you call when this happens, you know that this needs to be done, how to check it. And if you're
Oh,
gone and there's no one there to, kind of arm the troops with the information or even take in those phone calls and triage those important things, then you're on call when you're on your vacation. So what we're allowing you to do is put all of your knowledge in this place that you can still manage it. You're still there to manage to make sure it's done, but you can check it on your phone, or maybe you don't have to because somebody else can check it on their computer to see, okay, did Sonya do her thing? Did Melissa do her thing? Did Jinesh do his thing? And yes, yes, yes. Okay, peace of mind. I can go back to my, margarita on the beach.
Yes. Okay. So,
Melissa, yes, you too happy about that, Melissa. She said yes when you said margarita. Yes, I mean, wow.
well, so walk us through. So a practice signs up with your platform, and then is it something where the practice has to enter in all the information, like their compliance, their machines, their whatever they have, they enter it in, and then it tracks it after that? Or do you already have some of this loaded into the system?
So it's a little bit of both. So a lot of times we know that practices sometimes have their own way of doing things. So we allow them to completely customize every task or compliance management effort that they want to track. But we also come to the table with best practices. So we'll say, because you have this sterilizer, because you have this compressor, you need to check it this often or replace the oil this often. And you should probably be doing these OSHA related tasks associated with it as well. And then the other nice to have is we have started working closely with two of the big names in dental, the Henry Schein and Patterson groups, about working with integrations with them and working with them to understand what are the best practices so we can continue to educate down to their offices as well.
So, are you a dentist?
No, I'm a biomedical engineer by background. So I helped with the device management and creation from my former life.
So, where did this idea come from? Now, listen, you have to, you're not a dentist. So you don't know the intricate details and the craziness that goes on in the dental office because there's a thousand little things from instruments to because there's someone else that picks up bio. There's someone else that does the X-ray. There may be someone else who does the dental insurance software. The panel may have someone different. Instruments. It's so many different little bitty nuances in a dental practice. How did a non-dental person get this idea?
So I still come from the healthcare world. So I used to work at one of the largest health systems in Austin, Texas, where we also had, every modality. We had urgent care under our umbrella. We did have dental that, you also give those kinds of services in the building. So I came at it from a perspective of I saw how big health systems manage all of their equipment compliance and all those, micro things that you just mentioned. And I also realized that they have these departments with millions of dollars in budget behind them. And it came to me as I was looking out my window one day that there was an urgent care getting pulled up down the street and that had a dental practice right next to it. And I just thought about it. I was like, how do they do this? They don't have a department. They don't have millions of dollars to put in this process. So what do they do to manage this? And as I started interviewing people, I have friends that are dentists. I have family members that are in the healthcare community that own their own practices. The more I learn, the more I realize they just don't do it well, or they don't know how to do it well. And it's not for a lack of trying. There's just not a lot of software out there. There's not a lot of education about, medical equipment management isn't the sexiest of topics, unfortunately. And so no one really wants to innovate in that space because it's not something that's hot that everyone's investing in or everyone talks about. But because of that, I think it created an opportunity that I saw that we could be the first people to actually make a difference in this world in that one segment that people kind of ignore today, but really means, hours back in the day for the office managers, which is hugely important.
So you're going to make this sexy, aren't you? You're going to make everybody, next year at this time, there's going to be like 10 competitors, right?
Yeah. And y'all remember where it came from. No, but exactly. I think it's shedding the light on places that I think don't get a lot of light spread on them. And they're still burdensome. They're a lot of work to manage. And, until somebody gives them a solution that makes it easier, they're going to keep doing it the hard way.
And it's a no-brainer. I mean, as you talk about it being integrated with, Schein and Patterson, it's a no-brainer. It's like, okay, yes, why hasn't this been done before? Why has no one shed light on this? Why has no one, innovated in this area? And so I just want to say thank you, from a mobile clinician over here in Oregon as a hygienist. Thank you for doing this because it's going to allow our communities to be more efficient, more effective, and do what we love best, which is really reach more patients and provide more care to more patients. So thanks for doing that.
I appreciate that. And I think back to the mobile dentistry thing, as you start having more and more of these kinds of companies come about, there's a whole level of fleet management that needs to happen too.
Yes.
Like you have these trucks, they also need to be serviced and maintained along with the equipment inside of them. So there's a whole ecosystem that we want to be there to support somebody who runs one of those kinds of practices, all the way from your trucks and their wheels up to the x-ray, the mobile x-ray you might be using in their
Wow.
dental practice. Like, we want to be there to manage it all in one spot, so you don't have to go to different platforms.
Sonia, I can see you breathing a sigh of relief
I
right now.
know that is, that's so needed, and it's just so important. And in mobile dentistry, it's, to me, I'm biased, of course, but I just think it's even more important for the mobile clinician to have something like this, because we don't. Some of us don't have a brick and mortar office where everything could be under one hub. So we are a bit disjointed as far as having things
Yeah.
out there. So to me, this is an ideal product for the mobile dentist, whether they are in the van or whether they're the drag and pull type, that go in. But this is, seems like it kind of make us organize. Mobile dentistry, you have to be organized and you have to be compact. And so anything that can help us with that scenario is important. So I could see this being a vital part of the mobile dental conference.
Mhm.
You know, we hope that you
Hmm.
can bring some information
And
or put something out there so that people could have some sort of contact with you.
yeah, I think I would love that. And they can contact me. I can send it to you guys later, or I can just say it at the end of this podcast. But at the end of the day, you're right. We want to make it to where everyone who's using our product can focus on patient care and their own job first, and then hopefully the rest is automated, so it's less mental stress on how do I do this or did I remember to do that. And going into the dental world, like you said, it's so disjointed with when it comes to mobile practices. Sometimes you don't have a single place that keeps all of that information, or it's not remembered, or hey, it's in that truck, or it's in that truck. It's like, here's a centralized platform. You don't have to have the paper. It's all digitally captured, and somebody somewhere else can help you out if you need that help, because maybe someone's out sick today and they don't know how to do something.
Mhm, mhm. And it's all about too. Oh, go ahead, Sonia.
I just want to ask one question before we pivot off there. Don't forget your thought, Melissa. You got your thought? You
Who
got your
knows?
thought?
We'll see.
Hold your thought. Don't forget it. Don't. I don't want you to forget it because I know it's good. And but listen. So say for instance, someone like me, I have maybe three hygienists going to different places, and this is something that we have a hard time tracking orders. So one hygienist may run out of silver diamond fluoride, when another hygienist may run out of xylitol, and then so if that's something that, so we're always not, we just having difficult ordering. Is that something could be all centered together, where one hygienist breaks her cavitron and then someone else needs a sensor? Is that something that also can fall up under this hub of keeping everything organized?
Yeah, so you would be able to see, okay, what was that broken Cavitron? What's the status of it? Because we could integrate into the service work order engines of these larger organizations that we were talking about earlier. So if they've dispatched a technician, you can actually get a real time. I always like to call it the Domino's Pizza Tracker. That you can see exactly what's happening in that service event instead of having to figure that out. And then you can also see who are the other or individuals in your organization that have that same device that you might be able to borrow, or say, hey, it looks
Nice.
like we have five of these in our inventory, and that truck is actually idle today. So let me go grab it from that truck instead. So there's a lot of things like that we can help you out with.
Go ahead. And what was your question?
Oh boy, that's long gone. There you
See, I
go.
told her to remember. I know her. I know her. And it
Yeah,
was so good.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
plenty more though. Okay,
It's
so
probably the best question on earth. And
And she forgets it.
it'll come to me when I'm sleeping tonight.
Oh, that was the
Okay,
question.
so tell me, as far as payment structure with this, is this a subscription? Is this a one-time flat rate program? What do you have set up as far as that goes?
yeah, so it's a subscription platform. We charge around $600 a year for the entire platform
Mm,
per facility. So let's say you have multiple facilities, just multiply that by 600, and that's what you pay on a yearly basis. Now, the more facilities you have, the more discounts we can provide. And that's the bigger thing, is getting everyone on this cheap platform that at least can manage a lot of these things.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. Now, when you say facility for a mobile clinician, that I'm assuming it doesn't mean that everywhere we go you're going to charge us. You mean a centralized
No.
hub. Mhm.
Yeah, so
We'll just
usually when it
clarify
comes to
that.
mobile,
Yeah.
yeah, usually when it comes to mobile, it might be there's a certain region
Mhm,
or a certain number of trucks that equate to one facility. So we try and make it as economic as possible at the end of the
mhm.
day. But yeah, it wouldn't be everywhere you just go. It's more of the where does the equipment live, because that's how we track things on the asset side.
Very
I
nice.
like that. I like that.
I see
Go ahead.
this too. Oh, here
No,
we
I don't
go
have a
again.
question. I don't have anything. I just say I like it. Go ahead. Go ahead,
I
girl.
was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say I'm gonna lose this one again. I don't even know.
Go, go, go,
Um,
go.
okay, so and this looks, as we see more and more DSOs and fixed brick and mortar practices go mobile or go virtual, this is going to be even more critical. And I think that's what we're going to see in the future. Sonia and I always talk about it. Sure, we have these mobile only practices that may or may not have a fixed brick and mortar building, but in the future, I think the traditional dentist is just going to be exploring more care outside of their office. And so this is a very vital part to building that and to growing those practices as we go into the future of dentistry, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So Jinesh, tell us what's next for Uptime.
So I'd say what's next is we're going to start. So we're still a relatively new company. We started in 2018, and we're going to start going out to conferences and really showing ourselves to the world. So we'll be at, AADOM, the ADSO conference, the Midwinter event in Chicago. So we're going to start actually coming out to those places, and we'll be finalizing our integrations with, the Henry Schein and Patterson in the next, hopefully, quarter or two. And that will allow us to really level up our ability to promote ourselves within their communities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sounds like you're at a really pivotal point of growth for the company. So I get excited. I work with a lot of startups. I get excited about that. So congratulations.
Well, you didn't say you were going to
Oh
be at the
yeah, no,
National Mobile. You didn't say you were going
thank
to
you.
be at
We're very excited.
but you didn't say you were going to be at the National Mobile and Teledentistry Conference. That's what I was listening for.
That's in March.
We'll be there. Sorry, so we'll probably be there. I have to ask Taylor's on our. She's doing our marketing, which you've already been talking to her. So it's probably in the March segment. I just have my mind in like the next 6 months till the end of the year kind of thing. So that's my fault.
Well, you're always welcome there. You're always welcome. Now, Jinesh, if someone wants to reach out to you or learn more about the product, where can they go?
So you can find us on our website, which is uptimehealth.com. You can always reach us at info@uptimehealth.com. But we're available 24/7 to take anyone's calls. But we're really excited to be part of this podcast and be part of the dental community as it moves towards this more mobile and efficient platform.
Well, thank you for being a part of our show today. And thank you to our audience for listening. Like we mentioned, we're hoping that you all are getting prepared to come live to Vegas at the National Mobile and Teledentistry Conference, March 3 through 5, 2022. It's going to be everything, right, Melissa?
It's going to be everything. Velocity 2022. Velocity in Vegas is what Sonya always says.
Velocity in Vegas.
Yeah.
And what velocity means too, and this is to our audience, this means that mobile dentistry is really taking off. We're already there, but since it just seems like last year just pushed it into velocity, and we're going to bring everything to our team in Vegas this year. I mean, anything and everything that you could think about in mobile dentistry is going to be happening there, and we're integrating dental, teledentistry, and health and medical. So we're integrating mobile health and mobile dental together, which as dental professionals, we already knew that health and dental go together. They're hand in hand. So we're putting this all together under one roof in Vegas. So if you're listening to this podcast, if you see us on Facebook, click like and share our pages, and please continue to listen to our podcasts wherever you listen to your podcasts weekly. Thank you for joining us, Melissa.
Love you all. Love you all. See you next week.